Officer Dave, would you open a courtroom for us?
The state of Michigan 36th District Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge David S. Robinson Jr. presiding. Court is now in session. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Good morning, Ebony Jackson.
All right, we're ready. Let's get started. We are on the record calling file 22177-310, Portfolio Recovery Associates versus Ebony Jackson. Date and time for objection to garnishment, your respective appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. I did not have this on my docket, so if you bear with me, Cezanne Barda, I believe, P65425 on behalf of the plaintiff.
And tell us your name again, ma'am.
My name is Ebony Jackson.
Ms. Jackson, you are the moving party. What is the basis of your objection to garnishment?
So on September 27th, I spoke to Dolores, W number 5, and my understanding is that we came to agreement to a payment arrangement. Then, at that point, I started paying. So after that, they sent the garnishment to my job, and the amount wasn't updated for what I had paid.
Mr. Barter?
You're gonna have to give me a moment, Your Honor. This was not on my docket for today.
What were you paying, Ms. Jackson?
We agreed to $100 a month.
Pay it started, has the payment started yet?
Yes, I started back, let me see, I got a receipt from them. They received the payment from me on the 30th.
Of what month?
September 30th, I'm sorry, September 30th.
All right.
And I've been paying since then.
Your Honor, if the court wishes, the court can grant her objection to garnishment, release any funds back to the defendant. She can continue to pay as agreed. I'm not going to be able to get any of the questions answered. I'm going to have to call Dolores and find out what's going on with us.
I've got two separate objections here. In regard to you work for the post office, ma'am?
Yes,
In regard to your objection with garnishment from the post office, the court will grant that.
and there was another one, oh, for my taxes.
Yeah, well, that's a different issue. That's a different issue entirely.
Okay,
The writ of garnishment in regard to the post office will be quashed. We'll order any funds be refunded to the defendant. In regard to the garnishment in relationship to the Michigan Department of Treasury, Mr. Barter, what is your position in that regard?
Your Honor, our office files tax garn on every single file, whether there's payment plans or no payment plans. As you know, it's a one-time hit at the end of the year. So we're requesting that tax garnishment remain in place.
Ms. Jackson, an installment payment order does not protect against everything. It protects against wage garnishments. And so your wages are protected as long as you continue to make those payments. However, in regard to the tax refund, if there's a tax refund, money in the bank, money in the credit union, those are not protected by installment payment orders. So that's going to be denied. There'll be two separate orders. There'll be an order granting your objection in regard to the post office. That's just, as long as you make your payments, stop the garnishment of your wages, there'll be an order denying the objection insofar as the Michigan Department of Treasury is concerned. You have an absolute right to appeal my decision. That appeal must be perfected within 21 days of today in the Wayne County Circuit Court. We'll send you
I
out.
have a question.
Ma'am?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Will they update how much I owe with the like for my taxes, or will they take the whole 1437? Because that's not what I owe anymore. So is that updated?
The money will be updated, yes.
Okay.
There's enough, if there's enough money in the state of Michigan to pay off the entire judgment, that would take care of it.
But I already started paying on it. Like I owe 800 on it now.
Ma'am, I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
What I said was, it will be updated. And if there's
Okay.
enough money in the state of Michigan, then that will take care of the whole thing. But in either event, your wages will not be garnished again.
Okay. And I have one more question.
Ma'am?
Because they did do a default judgment, do I need to file a motion of installments with the court? Or is this?
I would do that if you don't have anything in writing, do you?
No.
I would file such a motion if it were me.
Okay.
All right, thank you both for coming in. We're off the record.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Let's be safe out there.
I have another matter with you as well, Your Honor.
Oh, so I'm not removing you.
Please don't remove me.
I'm removing her, but not you. What do you have?
I have, I believe, I'm sorry. I have LVNV funding versus Danielle James.
I have that person.
Perfect.
Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Good morning, sir. I'm Danielle James.
We are on the record calling file number 171277836, LVNV funding versus Danielle James. Date and time for objection to garnishment. Your appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. Cezanne Barta, P6445 on behalf of the plaintiff.
And your name again, ma'am?
Danielle James.
Ms. James, you are the moving party. What is the basis of your objection to garnishment?
Well, if I can go back to, I believe the first attempt in trying to retrieve any monies was probably in 2017, according to the information I got from the court. All the way up through, I think the last attempt was a couple of weeks ago through my Huntington Bank account. I also like to say that this was also filed in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy with myself and my now deceased husband. And
File Chapter 13.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. When did you file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy?
We filed for Chapter 13 in 2018, and we were paying into a plan up until 2020 when the pandemic hit. My husband was laid off from April until July. We weren't able to make the payments. We did notify our attorney during that process. And I'm saying this because I was totally supported by my husband up until he passed away. My husband passed away in December of 2020. Again, I was totally supported by him. I currently am surviving on monthly Social Security as a survivor spouse of Alfred James. And again, according to the record, it appears that even prior to the Chapter 13 bankruptcy, that our taxes there was an attempt to garnish our taxes. So I honestly can't say if monies were received, but there were more than a couple of attempts to garnish the tax record.
Mr. Barter,
Yes, Your Honor.
what can you tell me about this?
Your Honor, all I can say is that the bankruptcy was dismissed March 26, 2021, and the Huntington Bank account that she's objecting to disclosed that there's no funds available.
Okay,
So I don't believe there's anything to be decided. I have no problem with you granting her objection if the court wishes, but there's nothing in dispute this morning.
well, she's failed to state a valid objection to garnishment. If the chapter 13 was dismissed, that means the debt was not discharged.
Correct.
Whether or not there is or is not money in the bank is a different issue than the validity of the objection to garnishment.
Correct.
Ma'am, the court is going to deny your objection to garnishment. You failed to state a valid objection to garnishment.
Okay,
Excuse
can I
me.
also,
Excuse me, can I finish?
yes,
Could I have the same courtesy I gave you, allowing you to speak without interruption?
yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have an absolute right to appeal my decision. That appeal must be perfected within 21 days of today in the Wayne County Circuit Court. Now, what was it you want to say when you interrupted me, ma'am?
I'm sorry. I wanted to say that when the attorney mentioned, yes, the chapter 13 was dismissed in March of 2021 because my husband died, December 17th, 2020.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Court will send out an order today. Thank you both for coming in. We're off the record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's be safe out there. Ooh, that's not good.
Gustavo due to Malin, the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, was one of the early successes of the great Latin composer Richard Strauss, who wrote his Opus 20 Don Juan, which we just heard around the same time as other great professional works. The Royalty was one of the Stephen Prince figure, also Strauss, Zara Finisco. Richard Strauss's music. And the Berlin Philharmonic, this is for the WRCJ FM in Q1 from Detroit. Support for WRCJ is provided by the Ann Arbor Symphony Orchestra, performing Elgar's Enigma variations. Plus music by Jimmy Adams, with bands Philip Bush. Friday, November 11th at 8 p.m. at Ann Arbor Still Auditorium. Learn more at a2sl.com. Support for WSCJ is provided by Christ Church Goes Forward, joined together Scott and William, and Christ Church Chorale and Orchestra and performance of Mozart's Brandon S.C. William on Sunday, November 20th at 4 p.m. This final mass of Mozart will be performed in conjunction with his Exultate Jubilate, performed by soprano Angel Tice. Ticket information can be found at christchurchgb.org. Christ Church Goes Forward. Soaring sounds of music in the space. Peter Walker was the first ballot to make music to Wednesday, the 8th, and the music of John Dismas Leibenberg, Johann Sebastian Bach contemporary, who was for a time kind of forgotten in the music world. He one of the masters of the late Baroque era. And he came around again thanks to more recent musicians like Heinz Pollock, who performed and recorded this music. This is Colorado Baron playing Selecta, 90.9 FM Detroit.
Hello? Hello?
Good morning, Judge.
We are on the record calling file number 191602223. The file is entitled Universal Collections LLC versus Kiana Houston. This matter is scheduled for hearing today at 10 o'clock on the defendant's objection to garnishment. It's now 10:29. The plaintiff has failed to appear. We are going to proceed. Could I have your name, please?
Kayana Houston.
Ms. Houston, you are the moving party. What is the basis of your objection to garnishment?
I did not know about the garnishment, and I feel like I wasn't supposed to be sued for their upgrades because they never told me anything, and they never did upgrades for me to even move into the place. So I feel like that wasn't supposed to be on my behalf at all. And I wasn't there when they sued me. I had been moved out. I was homeless and pregnant, and no one contacted me at all. They still have my cell phone number. They didn't contact me by any means necessary. They said they sent the paperwork to the house that I was previously living at on their property, but they knew I didn't stay there. So how could you send that paperwork to somewhere that you knew I was not at?
All right. Okay, ma'am. You're raising two separate questions. First of all, you're challenging the validity of the underlying judgment. You cannot do that under an objection to garnishment. Under Michigan Court Rule 3.101K, objection to garnishment may not be used, to challenge the validity of the underlying judgment. Your next question was that you had not been advised of the garnishment before the wages were seized. That's not the way garnishment works. When there's a judgment against you, the plaintiff goes to files a writ of garnishment against either your employer or a bank or a credit union, somewhere where they think that they have money but belongs to you. That person or that organization is called the garnishee defendant. The garnishee defendant has two obligations. One, to file a written disclosure concerning the garnishment. Yes, I have money that belongs to Ms. Houston, or no, I do not. And secondly, it is the obligation of the garnishee defendant to advise you that you have been garnished. It is not the obligation of the plaintiff's lawyer. Having failed to state a valid objection to garnishment, the court is required to deny your objection. You have an absolute right, ma'am, to appeal my decision. That appeal must be perfected within 21 days of today in the Wayne County Circuit Court. We'll send out an order to you today. Thank you for coming in. We are off the record. That concludes the morning call.